Good morning, St. Mary's, and welcome to Story Hour with Mrs. G. Hope school's going well for you. Things are going well for me here, too. So let's get started with our story tonight. It's one of my favorites. Okay. I only read my favorites. You're right, but this one I like a lot. Big Mean Mike, written by Michelle Knudsen and illustrated by Scott Magoon. Big Mean Mike was the biggest, toughest dog in the whole neighborhood. He had a big, mean bark and big, sharp teeth, and he wore a big black collar with gleaming silver spikes, and his claws were big and mean and very, very pointy. Best of all, he had a big, mean car that he liked to drive around the big, mean streets, and it made big, mean sound whenever he revved the engine. Here comes Big Mean Mike, the other dogs would say. He is the biggest, toughest dog in the whole neighborhood. Everyone knew how big and tough he was, and that was just the way it was, and Mike liked it. One Tuesday, Mike decided to buy a new pair of combat boots. He liked the way they made his feet look extra big and mean. And when he came out of the store and admired his big shiny car, then he opened his trunk wide open. And there, next to the big tough spare tire, was a tiny fuzzy bunny. "Hey," said Mike, "how'd you get in there?" And the tiny fuzzy bunny blinked up at him sleepily, and it was very, very cute. Mike picked up the bunny and quickly set it down on the sidewalk. Big mean dogs and tiny cute bunnies did not go together. He peeled out and sped away, revving his engine a few extra times for good measure. On Wednesday, Mike got in his car to drive to the gym, and he opened up the glove compartment to get out his gym pass. But when he reached in for the shiny plastic card, he felt something else and said, something soft, something cuddly, and he leaned over to peer inside. The tiny funny Buzzy was back, and this time he brought a friend. "Hey, I told you, get out of here." Mike barked at the first bunny, and he pointed at the second bunny. "That goes for you, too." Mike scooped up both bunnies, hoping that no one was looking, and he put them down outside the car. He felt their little eyes watching him as he drove away. On Thursday, there were 3 tiny fuzzy bunnies sitting on the hood of his car. "Get off my car, you bunnies!" Mike shouted. "What if someone sees you up there?" The bunnies did not get off. The bunnies looked at him and wiggled their cute little noses. Mike picked them up one by one and put them on the ground, and then he spelled it out for them. Big tough dogs do not hang around with tiny funny bunnies. Okay? So beat it, scram, and don't come back. Mike found excuses not to use his car over the next couple of days. The next weekend, Mike had a ticket to the monster truck show. He'd been looking forward to that for months. Monster trucks were big and mean, just like him. And the show was in the next town over, too far to walk. Mike went to his car and he looked carefully under the hood and he checked the trunk and then he peeked inside the glove compartment. Hey, he said, nothing to worry about after all. When he got to the stadium, the parking lot was full of big mean dogs getting out of their own big mean cars. None of them were as big and mean as Mike, of course, but some came pretty close. Mike turned off the ignition. The key slipped under his grasp and landed on the floor. A pair of tiny white paws reached out from under the seat and picked them up. Arrgh! Cried Mike. He stared in dismay as 4 tiny fuzzy bunnies hopped up onto the seat. They twitched their soft bunny ears and blinked their cute little eyes. No more bunnies, Mike yelled. Get out of my car! And the bunnies just sat there looking at him. Fine, Mike growled. Stay in there. I'm not missing the show because of you. And he snatched up his keys and slammed the door, and the bunnies gazed up at him with their sweet little fuzzy faces. Oh, gosh, you guys are cute, Mike said. And then he looked around. I mean, I hate cute. I'm big, mean Mike. He started to walk away, and then he stopped and looked around again in a parking lot full of big old mean dogs was not a very good place for little bunnies. He couldn't leave them all alone. It wouldn't be safe. Arr! Mike growled. He had no choice. All right, bunnies, he said, you can come with me, but I don't want the other dogs to see you. He got out his gym bag from the trunk. Hop in there and be quick about it. And the bunnies hopped in the gym bag. Mike hurried inside and found his seat. The monster truck show was just starting, and it was awesome. Mike felt his gym bag moving on the seat beside him, and the bunnies were sticking their little heads out, peering around with bright, excited eyes. Oh, all right, Mike whispered. You can watch. Just try not to let anyone see you. One by one, the bunnies climbed into Mike's lap, and they nibbled pieces of his popcorn, and they bounced in excitement whenever a big, mean truck reared a jump or a little car got crunched under big, tough tires. Mike couldn't bring himself to make them go back in the bag, and they were having such a good time, and, well, so was he. It was kind of fun to have someone to watch the show with, even better to have several someones, even if they were tiny, fuzzy bunnies. When the show was over, Mike noticed a group of big, tough dogs waiting for him at the end of the aisle. Got some new little friends there, Mike? One dog asked. Didn't fig you for the cute and cuddly type, said another. Guess you're not so big and mean after all, a third dog barked. Soon the dogs were laughing and pointing, and Mike didn't know what to do. This was terrible. His image was ruined. Then one of the bunnies leaned forward and made a tiny, growly sound. The other bunnies all joined in, and Mike looked down at them. Slowly he smiled, a big, mean smile. And then he looked back at the other dogs. You know what? Mike told them. I don't care what you think. I'm big, mean Mike, and I can hang out with whoever I want. And I like these bunnies, and they know how to have a good time, and they're adorable. Any of you got a problem with that? The other dogs all took a step back. No problem here, the first dog said. Yeah, we're just kidding around, said the second dog. Good, said Mike. Now get out of our way. My friends and I are going home. From that day on, Big Mean Mike went back to driving around the big mean streets in his big mean car. He still did everything in his own big mean way, and everywhere he went, 4 tiny fuzzy bunnies went with him. And that was just the way he liked it. So, boys and girls, even big tough guys have soft fuzzy friends. I hope you liked the story. I enjoy reading this one. So, have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.